And hello everyone, it's Tom, it's FANzine Live. I am excited to share with you some new releases today. A little bit different than what I usually do. I like to look at the sequential art side of things most of the time, but today we've got two sketchbooks. Sketchbooks are really interesting to me because they offer insight into not just the skill level of the artist, but also you get a sense for their eye and what they're trying to do and what they're trying to show, and also you get a sense of perhaps some of their depth and breadth of skill that you might not necessarily see elsewhere. So we're going to take a look at two new releases that just came in, and they are here. Andy Watson, I believe, is out of the UK, a fantastic cartoonist. And Andy Watson, among other things, has done a book for Top Shelf called The Book Tour, a graphic novel. I think Andy's a real special talent. I've got a whole bunch of mini comics too that we'll probably take a look at some point in the days ahead. But anyways, that's Andy Watson. Greg and Fake are the award-winning creators behind the Santos sisters. Now, this is the reprint of the first, 10 issues or so of Santos sisters. Santos sisters comes across to me as being a bit of a kind of spoof on Archie comics, among other things. It's a lot of fun. It's a little tongue-in-cheek, a little bit raunchy, and nothing really truly terrible from an adult point of view. But again, there's some language in there and some stuff like that. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is if you look at these characters, I mean, you've basically got Archie comics. Now, these are Archie comics with barbarians and superheroes and the like, but it's Archie comics. And then we've got the sketchbook. So we're going to take a look at both of these. I wanted to start by showing you a little of what they've done, and then we're going to take a look at each of these. We're going to start with Andy Watson. We've got some stuff in here. Please find and close some minis in the sketchbook. Hope you enjoy them both. And that's some original art sketchbook page material. Neat in this instance how you can see the combination. Well, I do see pencil behind there, but you've got some interesting hatching, use of black, use of gray. I think that's like a Copic type marker. And then you've got the thinner line as well. Multiple times. Draw and draw and draw and draw. Kind of the same setup here as well. Interesting use of angles. Using markers here, you can kind of see the markers are getting a little worn down, but he's using it to his advantage by showing perhaps a little bit of gradation and color in the hair. This one, just a couple squiggles, you got yourself some hair. A couple more squiggles, you got yourself some fingers. Neat body work. And then we get to the book itself. I think that looks like a sketch there. Andy is very generous with the sketches. Now, this one is interesting because this sketchbook plays to the simple color usage and full page sketches that Watson does so well. Love the lavender here and then lavender on the shadowing. Here you've got the light coming through with the yellow and then the silhouette and the shadow. But then you get to the repetition side of things, choosing to work on birds and bees, I guess, insects. Got a bear here. You can see how he's working in different perspectives on the birds, sometimes looking straight ahead, sometimes looking off to the side, playing with different colors and shading. A little bit of a horror motif with these ones. And then you get in some serious profiles. Must have been working through this character. Do we give him a mustache? Don't we? How does he look with and without hats? Different perspectives. This was a poster for the Comics Courier. I've actually got the 9x12 of that. Different perspectives. That's almost a Corto Maltese type motif. Little horror infusion there. And then you get to motion. And this is the fun in the sketchbook because not only do you have the motion in the characters, and notice how the hands are just nothing but curved lines, the hands and arms, but then also you get the background shading. Really cool. Some Star Wars robots playing with more character faces. Sketchbooks are the places to experiment. Only here can you have what looks like Nosferatu on one side and then Andy's version of the gang of hobbits from The Lord of the Rings on the other side. Hands. Hands are so hard to do. You can never stop doing studies on those. If there was any question whether or not practice makes perfect, You look at work like this, and you can see where the style comes from. Nothing if not consistent. Different types of vehicles. And then some abstract stuff. Still keeping within the style. I mean, this is really intriguing to me. How one can keep their own style, yet switch, if you will, styles. I'm not using the right term there. Really something else. Neat noir looks with this page. Cool, almost a 50s style architecture look. And back to those hands. Oh, they're so hard to do. Got all your snails, and then you got what looks like a bird or maybe a snail. No, it's something with a tail on it, carrying a sword. You got one that's got a little hat and sunglasses. One that looks like a snail is a car. Ooh, gas masks. Neat work with color, shading of all type. Interesting to use the different colored background for the paper here, using the cream as opposed to the white. Little Red Sonja action. Same basic character, done in different eras. Little Joan of Arc look, some debutante type stuff, some more lower key type stuff. Andy Watson is a special artist. Messing with the mouse. Always a good thing. Give him a chainsaw. Very, very cool. So that's Andy Watson stuff. Then Greg and Fake. And remember, Greg and Fake seem to have, and I don't have any background with Greg and Fake beyond Santos sisters. So when I got the sketchbook, I was anticipating a ton of Santos sisters, stuff like this. But then look at what else we have. Egyptians, more detailed work. These are pencils. Get a sense of how this stuff sketches down as pencils before the inks go on and the pencils go away. Such detail. Look at what you have to get to in order to draw back to get that perfect Santos sisters type look. Yeah, there's some ink right there. And then you get pictures like this. Now, Greg and Fake have a little bit more freewheeling sketchbook than what you see out of Andy Watson. Boy, the artwork is just incredible. And you can learn so much from this stuff. Kind of a version of Betty Boop there. Got little characters in the background even. Man, to get inside of this mind. Yeah, this is the type of stuff that really blew me away. I was expecting this. I was not expecting this. And then you've kind of got this halfway approach where definitely you can see especially with the eye shape and the somewhat simplicity of the figures. They're not overly detailed. If you will, the texturing on the fabric gives you the detail for this Draculette. You can see that becoming an Archie thing, but it is not Archie style at all right now. Just gorgeous work. As I understand it, the Andy Watson sketchbook is still available. This book, the Greg and Fake, is not. So I'm going to go a little slower through this one so that you can take a look. I think I got one of the last few. Love the funny mushrooms. Got to go back and read my Santos sisters and see if there were some funny mushrooms dancing around in that. But look at this. I mean, this Joni character here looks great. Is that Wolverine there? Jinkies. Looks like we're doing a little Scooby-Doo. And then you get stuff like this, which starts to look more like a movie poster when you start layering in all of the different characters. The versatility that Greg and Fake show is just off the charts. A version of Howard the Duck. And at the same time as a Yosemite Sam, at the same time as one of the Santos sisters. Mix of everything. So cool. The Phantom. Is that Alvin and the Chipmunks? There's your Wolverine, but that's the old school uniforms. Oh, we got another X character here. What a talent. Ha! Love the crazy eyeballs and the skeleton hands. Nice touch. Really nice. Yeah, I could stare at this stuff for a long time. And it really helps me as a really not good artist get a better feeling for what's necessary and what's not when you're drawing. Having a really clean look. But these are such confident lines. Impresses the heck out of me. I mean, that's not Archie. It could be turned into Archie, but right now it's not. And the same goes for this right here. All the while you've got the Archie type characters in the background. With almost a Silly Symphonies or some of those early Disney and Warner Brothers cartoons. Dang. great looking material. Just fantastic. I mean, check that out. Oh, and this is 2018, so it's a nice mix of stuff because this just came out this year. So pulled out some of the old pages as well. Again, we talk about the depth and breadth of the artist that really comes out in a sketchbook. With Watson's, you can see that the style is pretty consistent all the way through. The figure work, the character work, the experimentation with forms and designs and the like, in color. Oh Lord, the color. That's what happens here. What happens here is you really get a better sense of the difference in styles, but also the difference in motifs. I mean, you've got crazy, almost a horror mythological motif, whereas you also have really nice, looks almost like an art school portrait type look there. And you can see even back in 18, starting to work on that quasi-Archie look. And yes, again, the hands. Santos. Early versions of the sisters back in 18. Trying to perfect the idea. Remember, Santos sisters really only took off in the last year or so. So these characters and this stuff was gestating, you know, even the bees, that's been gestating for what, 7, 8 years? Nice sci-fi look there. Svengoolie. Ha! Would love to know the age on that one, because that's straight Archie look. And you can see a couple of the inked pages as well. And there's that Ambar and Alana pinup. We looked at it in the Fanographics book. And then a couple pieces of Jackie Chan that they did. Very, very cool. So we've got 2 great sketchbooks. This one, again, is for sale. I'll have information on that. And then also, don't forget that Santos Sisters, which I really am enjoying. It earned its awards for a reason. Volume 2 is coming out soon. Fanographics has Volume 1 right now. It's a great book. These are great. Really enjoying Andy Watson's other work that I've read thus far. We've got a couple really talented artists, and using the zine format to share the sketchbook work. It's a masterclass by both of them. 2 great artists, 2 great sketchbooks. Really glad to have those, and really glad to have you along for the ride. Let me know what you think about sketchbooks, and if you know of anybody who's got some other great ones. I know, like Steve Rude, the artist on Nexus and a lot of stuff for DC and Marvel. He's got a great sketchbook or 5 that he does. Those are some of the ones that I like. What about you? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget, as always, like the video, subscribe to FANzine Live, tell your friends, because telling your friends about artists like this and sketchbooks like this simply grows the appreciation for art, and perhaps maybe gives somebody a little inspiration to try some different stuff themselves. I know I could stand to do a little more sketching in my sketchbooks. All right, thank you for watching, everybody. I'm Tom. This is FANzine Live. I will catch you next time.